Hello everyone! Today I will be talking about the newly announced Avatar origin character called the Dark Urge. What are the implications from choosing to play as this character, and what can you expect from a playthrough as him instead of our Tev, which is what the standard non-origin character is called by default in Baldur's Gate 3. There will be some spoilers in this video, as I will talk about my speculations about the character and how different interactions can be while playing as the Dark Urge, as opposed to another origin or your custom character. Later on, I will also be mentioning a bit about other origin characters that had their description changed on the official Baldur's Gate website, implying their story will play out a bit different than what we currently have in early access. Before we begin, I wanted to clear up and apologize for two things I misunderstood from the panel in my last video. First of all, it is confirmed that the game is still coming 3 days early for all early access purchases. When Sven was talking about the game coming 4 weeks early instead of 3 days, my English played tricks on me and I kinda misunderstood the message. Second clear up is that most likely no subclass except the Oathkeeper will be locked behind an event that has to happen in game. Again, I misunderstood what was said when they said some classes get their subclasses in different ways than on character creation. Sorry everyone, my English sometimes can get the best of me, but I am trying to improve with every video and I hope it is still enjoyable for you to watch. First of all, in case you are unfamiliar with the concept, origins are characters that Larian put into the game with their own unique stories that you will follow along as you play the game, but what is unique about the Dark Urge is that he is fully customizable as a class and race, unlike the other origin characters who are set in stone. While playing as the Dark Urge, you will have to resist temptations on your every move. Right away when you meet Gale at the beginning of the game, you will have to resist not to bite his hand off. It is however still unclear if he will appear later in the game or did he bleed to death in that portal. Also, your customizable dream person that sometimes appears when you rest in camp as Tev is also replaced by your urges. It is safe to say that you will think about blood and such things all the time. It is also worth mentioning that there is a hobgoblin in a head that will possibly be a representation of your inner struggles as the Dark Urge. I think he will be an interesting character to pick, both in a good and evil playthrough, for example as a paladin struggling to upkeep his oath after amnesia and having those deep invasive thoughts, or alternatively, you now have a justification to be a full-on murder hobo. We also have to address the fact that there are very heavy hints that the Dark Urge is somehow related to Baal, the god of murder, who is now a quasi-like deity. I am not sure if the Dark Urge is a full-on Baal spawn however, because that would contradict some lore elements from over 10 years ago in-game wise, where the story of the Baal spawn saga reached its conclusion, but that is not to say that he or she or them cannot be an offspring of a Baal spawn, or perhaps Baal himself, because it is said that the Baal spawn reach adulthood faster because of magical godly juice and such, I guess. So it is pretty convincing that he is related to Baal in some way, shape or form. How much however is what we will have to find out on our own. Speaking of form, in the newest trailer we saw what seems to be the avatar of Baal called the Slayer, a creature we know well if you played Baldur's Gate 2 before, so that confirms it even more that the plot with Baal will be present, perhaps even central to the story. Was the Slayer the player character turning into him or someone else however, we do not know. Now when it comes to our trusty Tev, some people are saying that there is now no reason to pick him because the Dark Urge will be more fleshed out and have more story in the game. I disagree with that however, because Tev is still your own representation in the D&D world, which is why most people play D&D in the first place. Also, I think there will still be plenty of custom interactions as a Tev because of the increased reactivity from the world around you based on your race, class, subclass and possibly skills. Something that can get blurred or even overwritten while playing as the Dark Urge, as I have a suspicion that a lot of prompts you usually get as Tev will be replaced with thoughts of blood and trying to resist your temptations. So just as an example, the dream sequences will play out completely different between Tev and the Dark Urge. Now the summary. Should you pick your good old trusty Tev, the custom character that you will create yourself, or the Dark Urge? I think if you don't want to have this intrusive murder hobo plotline forced upon you, Tev is still definitely way to go if you want to play out your own character with the world still reacting to you uniquely based on the choices you yourself picked on character creation. You shouldn't feel like you have to pick the Dark Urge or otherwise you will miss out on more of the story in the world. I think some people are worried about that they will miss out too much when not choosing the Dark Urge, but I say not to worry and just pick whatever interests you more. Do you thirst for more of the Baal spawn plot and want it being the center of your story, or do you have your own character concept already figured out and want to see the world react to your unique choice of class and race? It's all up to you. I also wanted to mention other origin characters for a bit, because it now says on the Baldur's Gate 3 website that for example Gale and Will has their backstories a bit changed. Gale is now mentioned to have been a formidable archmage from Waterdeep, but pushed his relationship with the goddess Mystra too far. Failing to usurp his former lover's godhood, the goddess stole Gale's magics away and cursed him with the Netherese orb, a dangerous artifact with enough magical potential energy in it to level a city if it were allowed to escape. So this is interesting because Gale tells quite a different story in game currently. Now it's more direct and also making Gale being more powerful in the past. So I do wonder if Gale is simply hiding something from us in the early access, or did they actually change the story quite a bit. It is interesting that they want to flesh out the story of the other Origins characters more as well. Will's backstory has also been revamped quite a bit. Now he is a scion of a famed Baldurian house to a life of adventure on the road. Will's life as the monster hunter called the Blade of Frontiers have made him one of the beating hearts of the Sword Coast. So now he's officially the hero that he claims to be, I guess. He has more fame than, for example, just the boasting that he does in Baldur's Gate 3, and we are not sure if it is indeed just boasting or is he really more famous. Not many people seem to know him as that. So it is quite epic, I guess, and we'll see if his story will be more fleshed out. I want to see more from him, and I hope that this character will be really interesting because I like him as a character, and I hope that Larian will know how to tell his story well. Same with Gale. It seems that all of the Origins characters have quite an epic proportions tied to them, so we'll see how it's gonna turn out. I like that Larian is improving even not a full month before release already to the characters, and that we will just wait and see what actually gonna happen in the game, and I just can't wait to get those guys and girls in the party, and honestly I don't know how I'm gonna fit all of them with just 4 slots. At the end of this video I just wanted to remind you that I have a Twitch channel called Twitch TV Kainra where I actually live stream games, and I would love to see you there. We're gonna be playing different games until Baldur's Gate 3 comes out, and when Baldur's Gate 3 comes out I obviously gonna make a playthrough there as well. What's also cool is that you can subscribe to me for free using Amazon Prime, which gets me a coffee. Also, it is my only source of income currently, as I am not partnered with YouTube yet, so I don't earn money from commercials or anything like that. So thank you very much for your support, and I will be making more guides for you guys, no matter if you subscribe or not. It's my hobby and I love doing it anyway. So more guides are coming all the way up to release of Baldur's Gate 3, and also let me know if you like this kinds of materials when I talk more about the story of the game, the choices that you have, because I love doing stuff like that, and I just love the story of Baldur's Gate and of role-playing games overall. So let me know what you thought of this, and I'll see you again very soon.